Hi everyone, I am Nidhi Bawashe, founder of Nidhi Bawashe in conversation with Nidhi Bawashe Varta. I welcome everyone to my curtain raiser first episode of my podcast. Today we have a very special guest with us joining from United States, Mr. Dinesh Jain, founder CEO of Aagami Inc and co-founder of Nagpur First Foundation. Dinesh sir is a global business leader with around 4 decades of experience and expertise in science and technology. He held the position CEO, Vice President, Managing Partner in various global organizations. He is a founder CEO of Agami Inc. since 2003 and earlier worked with Tata, HCL, IMR, MSoft, and Kinox. Welcome, sir, to my first ever episode, Nidhi Bawashe in conversation with Nidhi Bawashe Varta. Welcome, sir.
Thank you. It's
so,
pleasure to be here. Yeah.
thank you so much, sir. It's an honor for us. Dinesh, sir, so your journey from Nagpur to Chicago. So, we are really excited to know how you started from Nagpur to now at Chicago.
Yeah, that's a great question. Well, I'm born and raised and educated everything in Nagpur. I did my engineering at VNIT, what is now called VNIT, but earlier we called it VRC. Uh, then I did my MBA from Department of Business Management of Nagpur itself in 1984. And then I left Nagpur, but I have remained a hardcore Nagpuri even till date. First went to Mumbai, then got into IT sector, which was a fledgling sector in 1984 with Tata's, mainly Tata Burrows, which in different forms now became Tata Consultancy Services, part of Tata Consultancy Services. That brought me to Los Angeles area in 1985, 85, 86. I worked there, then went to Spain for some other project in Madrid. Then came to United States again in Philadelphia area in 1988, 89. And then in 89, after I got married to an artist wife, went to Japan as a regional marketing manager. Rather, first I went to Japan as just a technical person in Tokyo, and then took over as regional marketing manager there. So I was head of Japan and Korea, based out of Tokyo. Then I'm a very hardcore nationalist as well, who loves our country very much. So I decided to move back to India. So lived in Mumbai for 3 years with Tata's and HCL, and then IMR hired me, so moved to Bangalore, and then IMR, MSoft. But life has its own plans. Whatever you do, it takes you where you kind of destined to. So one thing led to another. It brought me here to uh, the U.S., to Naperville, Illinois, which is Chicago suburb. So now I'm in Chicago for last 24 years. So that's what brought me here, and that's why I'm here. So many places. हिंदी में कहते हैं ना, घाट घाट का पानी पिया है, तो बहुत घाटों का पानी पी लिया है.
जी बिल्कुल राइट सर, जैसा आपने कहा कि लाइफ हैव इट्स ओन प्लान. सो यस, फ्रॉम नागपुर टू मुंबई टू शिकागो. सो सर, एज यू हैव मेंशन दैट यू केम बैक टू इंडिया, Mumbai में, and then you have started, your journey from being a CEO of MSoft Informatics Services and Kinox, and then again going back to United States.
Yes, so Quinox is what brought me to the US, because I have built Japan region for Tata's. We were the only second company. Now both are the same company, TCS and Tata Unisys at that time. And so Quinox founder CEO knew about my work, and when I left MSoft, it was worthwhile news for Times of India to publish it, and then it was known in the industry, and he came after me, and one thing led to another. I ended up here in Chicago to build Japan for them, and that's where I was the CEO of Quinox KK, also Kabushiki Kaisa in Japan, while working from the US. Yes.
Okay. That's really great journey, sir. Again, so now we have heard a very a story about starting your venture, your business, Agami Inc. So we would like to hear that story, how Agami started, and what was that story behind starting this business or venture or global organization.
Yeah, so that's an interesting story, and the seed of which was planted in me by none other than Shashi Tharoor, the famous Shashi Tharoor, the
Right.
member of parliament in India now, and at that time the Under Secretary at United Nations. He wrote an article where he mentioned that how a German accosted him in Frankfurt airport, and he said, "Hey, I have some problem in my computer. Can you please solve it?" This was 2001. And
Okay.
he said, "Why do you think I don't know you anybody from anybody? And you don't know me, but why do you think I can fix your computer?" He
Right.
said, "Aren't you an Indian?" He said, "Yeah, I'm an Indian." So he said, "You must be a computer engineer. Please solve me." And he said, "Now, thanks to our IT people, it has become any Indian that they see, they think that he must be a computer software person."
Right.
This was 2001.
Okay.
And being a very nationalist, I said, "Yeah, this is great." I mean, I felt very proud that our brethren or our kind of people that I was also involved in it also have made this happen. But being a nationalist, also, I felt, what's next? Now
Right.
we have done IT, so what's next? So I started looking in 2002 of what could I do, because IT has created very high paying jobs in India and lots of them. And it's now become a self sustaining automatic machine. And I have been proven right in last 22 years. So I said, what could I do to repeat this success of IT sector in a new sector?
Right.
And then I was sitting in a Kellogg's business school, which is in Chicago. They always have an India business conference practically every year. And there I was hearing a lecture by Dr. Mahendra Shah, who was of the belief that biotech and pharma is a very IP related, intellectual property focused. And since India's intellectual property at that time was not on par with the industrialized world, so at that time he felt that India may not be able to succeed in biotech and pharma, although they succeeded in IT and all that. But that germinated an idea in me that if this is an intellectual property based business, and if it's all about science and technology in your mind, I knew that Indian scientists can do it as well as Indian engineers did in IT.
Right.
So I studied it for 6 months, and then started. I felt that I could contribute by all my learnings of IT industry, of the global delivery model. So what we did in software development services, we could do in the drug development services also.
Right.
So I spoke to my wife, and she's very sweet. She said, "Okay, you are not going to stop even if I say so. So go after your passion. What makes you happy? Go after your passion." So not knowing what it would take, I jumped into it. It used to be called CRO services, contract research organization, just like IT offshoring. This is called contract research organization. and started Aagami Inc. Registered it in December 2002 and operationally started in February 2003. So that's how I got into this field. And having come into this field, we collaborated with Tata's company called Rallies India, also with Reliance Research Services and Apothecaries Clinical Research in India and few other companies, and started delivering these services. But I'm so passionate about what's possible between the US and India and the world and India and how to deliver that.
Hmm.
People started coming to me saying that, hey, could you help us in doing this? And having been at a very senior level since 1989 and doing the ventures together and collaborations and then CEO and president, and besides I had a MBA, good fortune to have an MBA also. So then slowly 3 4 years 5 years later, from 2007 8 onwards, we moved into completely management consulting. And
Okay.
now we do in biopharma focused management consulting of buying, selling, mergers, acquisition, raising funds, partnering, licensing, and those kinds of things in biotech pharma industry. But we do take one of new tech, fintech, or high tech like software or hardware, or clean energy, on some of these kinds of projects also. But focus remains in biopharma.
So, sir, as you have mentioned, like you have studied the life science at that point of time, and so I'm sure there were a lot of challenges that you have faced during those days, because that was 2003, and now Agami has customers from around 30 plus countries, offering in four continents in strategic consulting, technology, market intelligence. So what was those challenges? And as we see nowadays, startups who are coming, or the ventures, so I'm sure there would be a lot of challenges at that point of time. So we would like to listen,
Yeah, the
was that story.
challenges were many, and because I did three things at the same time, major changes. First, I have never been an entrepreneur, although my last name itself suggests that I come from entrepreneurial class, Jains. And I switched the field from information technology to biotechnology and pharmaceuticals. And third, I jumped into it without a team.
Okay.
Okay, so there were many challenges.
Hmm.
As much as that first 8 months, we did not have a single project.
Okay.
Okay,
For the
no
8 months.
revenue. Okay,
Okay. Hmm.
and in first 3 years, I made as much revenue as was my annual salary before. Okay,
Okay.
so 3 years.
3 years.
Okay, and these are revenues. These are not profits. So
Profits.
this is
Yeah.
not income.
Right.
So we had to take many steps back in our lifestyle here in the US, including downsizing our home and all kinds of things. But thankfully, I had a very understanding and very supportive wife and children. So they kept supporting me. Besides that, this was completely new field.
Hmm.
So when people asked, can you do this, manufacture this metabolite? I did not even know what metabolite was, because I
Right.
am an electrical engineer,
Yeah.
electronics and power engineer, with all my time at that time 20 years in IT. So I had to figure it out, and thanks to internet and thanks to the very entrepreneurial and friendly
Hmm.
business environment in the US, it helped me a lot. Okay, and then easily loan availability, easy financing, but it was just tremendous challenges. But we were very lucky. The same Dr. Mahendra Shah, who kind of indirectly initiated me into it,
Hmm.
1 year later became my partner by investing in the company. There is also Dr. Sridhar Andurkar. So why I basically hustle and remain after it all the time, despite of all challenges, and then kept going. There is an old Sanskrit saying, Charaiveti, Charaiveti, Charaiveti. So you have to just keep going, keep efforts, or as Narayan Sri Krishna have said in Bhagavad Gita, Karma Karanye Vadhika Raste. So that is, you have to just keep going and keep doing your effort, and then let the fruits be given by whoever, you call it nature, God, or whoever you call it. So that was the only way, and the passion kept driving me, and the support of the family, needless to say, despite of taking many many steps backward. And then I also put myself into doing some work like Nagpur First Foundation and those kinds of things, and then teaching Hindi or teaching Jain religion in the temple, and also getting involved into a personal growth and development education called Landmark Education. All these things put together kept me going, and the passion that it will happen, हो जाएगा, मेरा time आएगा. These days kids have that मेरा time आएगा or something like that. I don't know, I'm just too old, but I do hear a couple of times that. So सबका
Said you're
time
very
आएगा,
young.
so आ
Said
गया
you're
अभी.
very young. No, but that's very great insight, sir. I'm sure it's a great advice for everyone that keep your focus, karte raho, and your time will definitely come. So you always have to focus. You need to see where you can downsize, and support. Definitely, family support are always there. So yes, this is a really great insight and great learning as well. So, sir,
Thank
as
you.
you have already mentioned, Hindi teaching. So we have heard you have a tremendous and a great passion for teaching. So you have taught Hindi to young kids at Chicago, as you have mentioned, the Jain. You have taught the Jain religion to kids there as well. So we would like to know that staying at United States, but that love, as you have already mentioned, that is your heart is still in the Nagpur in India. But yeah, we would like to hear from you.
Yeah, so Nidhi, what I have learned in 90s while in Japan,
Hmm.
and this insight came to me, that even a dog or a bird or a squirrel can live for itself and its family, and
Right,
they do provide. But we are human beings.
right,
We are in the highest level of the life form that exists in the nature, okay, with the biggest amount of brain to body share, and
right,
we have done a lot of great things. So it's so we should think beyond yourself and your family or your immediate community or caste and things like that. You have to think at a larger level
hmm.
and contribute, not because you are selfless or you have to do something for others. No, because the society and community and the country has given you a lot. This is just little bit that which you can contribute to them in return. It's
Right.
like pay it forward. So from that time I had thought about it, that what could I do.
Hmm.
और हिंदी में हमारे देश में कुछ ऐसी परिस्थितियां बनी कि
Hmm.
लोगों ने उसको उसका विरोध किया और उसको पनपने नहीं दिया, और उसको वो, चाहे आप अंग्रेजों का कह लो चाहे आप किसी का भी कह लो, एक माहौल ऐसा बना कि उसको दबाया गया, और लोगों ने, विरोधियों ने विरोध किया, और हम लोग एक सूत्र में पिरो नहीं पाए सभी लोगों को. हमारी अपनी भाषा नहीं है, आज भी आप अंग्रेजी उपयोग कर रही हो मेरे से बात करने के लिए. तो मुझे लगता था कि हम क्या कर सकते हैं. तो वो सोच करके जब मैंने जैन सेंटर में, यहाँ शिकागो में हमारा बहुत बड़ा जैन मंदिर है, 18 एकड़ में है, और 1992 में 1992 में बनाया गया था. तो मैंने वहाँ वहाँ गुजराती की क्लासेस चलती थी, क्योंकि गुजराती जैन काफ़ी सारे हैं यहाँ पर, हमारे हिंदी वाले कम हैं कंपैरेटिवली, लेकिन हिंदी मूवी सभी देखते हैं, सब कुछ करते हैं. तो मैंने कहा मैं हिंदी पढ़ाना चालू करूँगा, और
Hmm.
बच्चों को पढ़ाना चालू किया. अब भाग्य से वो इतना बढ़ गया, मैंने 14 साल पढ़ाया वो, और वो वहां पर एक बच्चा भी होता था तो मेरे घर से मंदिर 40 किलोमीटर दूर है,
ओके।
वन
जी।
वे। तो मैं
हाँ
फिर भी वहां जाता था, एक बच्चा भी होता था तो उसको पढ़ाने जाता था। उसमें भी काफी चैलेंजेस आए, बट अगेन सपोर्टिव फैमिली एंड माय पैशन एंड मेरी जो एक तीव्र इच्छा थी कि कुछ
जी।
करना है,
जी।
तो वो किया। अब आज 5-7 टीचर हैं, बहुत सारे लोग हैं, बच्चे हैं। और अब तो पिछले 10 सालों में अमेरिका के रेगुलर स्कूल्स में, जो यहाँ के रेगुलर स्कूल्स में, उनमें भी एज ए सेकेंड लैंग्वेज हिंदी पढ़ाने लगे हैं। इनफैक्ट यहाँ की गवर्नमेंट ने भी मुझे बुलाया था कि आप बनोगे क्या, लेकिन अब मेरा बिजनेस इतना बढ़ गया है कि मैं उसमें नहीं जा सकता हूँ, और बाकी लोग हैं।
जी।
और तो हिंदी की सेवा की, अपनी अपने देश की भाषा की सेवा की, जो एक हमारी सबको जोड़ने वाली, एक को पिरोने वाली है। कुछ लोग अभी भी उसका विरोध करते हैं, लेकिन वो भी धीरे धीरे खत्म हो रहा है। तो वैसे ही एक ये भी इच्छा थी कि मैं जैन हूं, और मैंने उसको पढ़ करके अपनाया है,
जी।
जान करके अपनाया है।
जी।
ऐसे नहीं कि जस्ट बिकॉज मैं जैन फैमिली में पैदा हो गया था और वहां जन्म लिया और वहां पे पला बड़ा, तो इसलिए करना है, नहीं। उसको खुद स्वयं पढ़ा
जी।
और उसको जाना, और फिर उसको मैंने कहा कि व्हाट कैन आई डू। सो द एजुकेशन सेक्रेटरी ऑफ जैन सोसाइटी ऑफ मेट्रोपॉलिटन शिकागो अप्रोच्ड मी and he said, Dinesh ji, it looks like you know a lot about Jainism, would you like to teach? I said, why not?
हम्म।
And that thing, and then 2003 से लेके 2017 के एंड में, बोथ ईयर्स इंक्लूसिव, 15 साल मैंने हिंदी की जैन धर्म की सेवा भी की। और फिर मैं ये बिलीव करता हूँ निधि,
जी।
कि एक अकेला आदमी करता रहेगा ना, तो फिर वो उसके जाने के बाद वो चीज बैठ जाएगी। एंड
जी।
आई बिलीव इन इंस्टीट्यूशन बिल्डिंग।
राइट।
मैंने कहीं पढ़ा था कि वो हो करके फिर आपने मूव हो जाना चाहिए, दूसरों को थमा देना चाहिए, क्योंकि वो आगे बढ़ाएं। तो
जी।
फिर हमने दूसरों से बोला, बात की, और उनको थमा दिया। तो अभी 2 और टीचर उसको आगे ले जा रहे हैं, और
जी।
ऐसे चल रहा है। तो ऐसे किया, और वैसे ही नागपुर फर्स्ट भी मतलब किया।
राइट। सो सर, ये काफी एक काफी इंस्पायरिंग है कि आपने ये इनिशिएटिव लिया एंड आपने वो सिनेरियोस को देख के, एंड फ्रॉम 14 इयर्स से आप वहाँ हिंदी पढ़ा रहे एज वेल एज जैन टीचिंग। सो ये काफी इंस्पायरिंग है, आई थिंक, फॉर एवरी इंडियन। So, sir,
थैंक यू।
as you have already mentioned about Nagpur First Foundation, so you're the co-founder of Nagpur First Foundation, and with the vision that Nagpur First Foundation has started to take Nagpur a global city, like to have that Nagpur as a global city and support for Nagpuris to reach out globally. So, sir, we would like to know, like the journey, how with your co-founders, how you have started, and what was the vision, the broader perspective behind that.
तो निधि, व्हाट हैपेंड इज, एज आई टोल्ड यू, मैं
Mhm.
1985 में देश के बाहर चला गया।
जी।
And then I became much more passionate about the country and also about the city. और
राइट।
जब भी हम दो नागपुरी दुनिया में कहीं भी मिलते थे, चाहे वो लॉस एंजलिस हो, फिलाडेल्फिया हो, जापान हो, कहीं भी हो,
जी।
इमीडिएट बॉन्डिंग हो जाती थी।
राइट।
अबे क्या यार, अबे पोटे पोटी एंड ऑल दैट
राइट,
गुड
all the
नागपुरी
slangs
स्टफ,
which we
या
use. Yeah, right.
स्लैंग एंड ऑल दैट। सो
Right.
और बॉन्डिंग इतनी जबरदस्त हो जाती थी हमारी, तो हम सोचते थे कि यार नागपुर में सब कुछ है,
जी।
लेकिन क्यों आगे नहीं बढ़ता है।
जी।
तो जो टिपिकल हमारे विदर्भ के लोग करते हैं कि वो पश्चिम महाराष्ट्र को गाली देना, राजकारण वालों को गाली देना, अरे ये नहीं करते, वो नहीं करते, वो बहुत हो गया। ठीक है, उसमें भी कुछ सत्य है, बट वो बहुत हो गया। व्हाट कैन यू डू? यू
राइट।
आर ऑल्सो अ कैपेबल पर्सन, यू आर ऑल्सो समबडी, व्हाट कैन यू डू? तो इस भावना से प्रेरित होकर के हम लोग हमेशा कुछ ना कुछ डिस्कशन करते रहते थे।
जी।
फिर 2006 में जब मैं घर बदल रहा था, व्हेन वी डाउनसाइज्ड आवर होम, द वन थिंग लेड टू अनदर, एंड कुछ हमारे और नागपुरी जुड़े, जैसे शशांक राव हैं, निषाद सोमलवार हैं, विवेक भागवतकर, सुनील नारखेड़े, राजीव भीमनवार, अमित शाह, वगैरह वगैरह।
जी,
तो हम लोगों ने सोचा क्यों ना एक ग्रुप बनाया जाए, एंड व्हाई नॉट एज अ प्राइवेट सिटीजन वी हेल्प एंड सपोर्ट नागपुर फ्रॉम अमेरिका.
राइट,
So we decided what should we do, what should be our aim and ambition or motto, if you will. So we decided our motto has to be Nagpur a global city.
राइट,
Okay,
जी,
because we felt that Nagpur has everything, but if it's given the right impetus and right this thing, and basically it must be a groundswell.
राइट,
एवरीबडी थिंक्स कि अरे सरकार माई बाप मुंबई के विधान भवन में बैठ करके सचिवालय में बैठ करके कुछ करना चाहिए. नहीं, वी बिलीव दैट व्हाट द people can do about it rather
करेक्ट,
than just complaining and moaning and groaning about it.
करेक्ट,
So we said let's formulate Nagpur. So we gave the name Nagpur first because it, since our aim was Nagpur a global city, and to make Nagpur global scale big city like today what Hyderabad and Bangalore are, and Ahmedabad and Pune have also reached to that level today.
राइट,
But at that time in 2006, we thought this would be a great ambition to have. So Nishat Somalwar, Shashank Rao continued with us. Others kind of got busy in their own life. And then Amit Badiani came as a Nagpur entrepreneur from Harrier Information Systems. So we made him the secretary, and we registered the organization in Nagpur. Then later on, Faiz Wahid came in, other people came in, Mr. Hakimuddin Ali, Jay Prakash Parekh, Sachin Jahangirdar, Rajiv Agarwal, Hemant Lodha, and many people based out of Nagpur or other places like Chandru Iyer, Amit Vaikar, many Nagpuris from 46 cities and 40 odd countries actually came and joined us. And then one thing led to another. Initially we kept doing some small work, and from 2014 we started having this global Nagpur summit, in which we choose few industrial areas, growth areas, and move it forward and make it all happen.
राइट,
And now again, like I say, I am an institution builder rather than it should become. So when I realized in 2017-18 that people have started associating Nagpur first, arey wo Dinesh Jain ka organization, so I said it's time for me to move out. And then I spoke to our people and I said, and everybody said, nahi Dinesh ji, aapke karan ho raha hai. I said, no, it should not be like that. It should be Dinesh is the one person who is working in Nagpur first and not the other way around. So from 2022, that is last year, till 21, I was handling it, and 22 onwards now, Mr. Hakimuddin Ali, who is now the CEO of Dalmia Bharat Cement, and also a management council member, CII's vice chairman, and so on. I mean, he's a really amazing man. And my co-founder Shashank Rao, who's a very senior executive in Wipro. These two gentlemen are managing it. Then we have lot many more people along with them, like Nivedita Pendharkar. Then we have Dr. Rizwan Ahmad. We have Mr. Jay Prakash Parekh. We have Mr. Rajiv Agarwal. We have several other people, Dr. Vivek Nanoti, and very important and person who works like tirelessly is our great social entrepreneur, Mr. Tanveer Mirza. So we have a
राइट,
lot of such people who are now supporting it, and this is a core team, and it's moving forward. And through your podcast, I would request all Nagpuris and anybody who loves Nagpur to join this group and help and support.
sure, sir. And I met Mr. Shashank Rao the last summit that had happened in Nagpur last year, December. So I got the opportunity to meet him also, and we discussed about the supply chain and other things a lot.
Very
So,
nice.
so sir, as you have shared a lot of thing about Nagpur, and at the time of when you all sat together and decided to start Nagpur First Foundation, and So how you see as Nagpur has also grown enough, like there are a lot of startups now here. They are getting a tremendous opportunity. VCs are there, angel investments opportunities are there. They're getting mentoring from a lot of other organizations as well. A lot of entrepreneurs now, they are giving back to society with that vision. So how you see Nagpur, can you see Nagpur as a next startup capital in Maharashtra? We already have two big cities here in Maharashtra. One is Mumbai and Pune. They are well established ecosystem. And now Nagpur is also on the same line. So how you see Nagpur as a next startup capital?
It has the potential.
Right.
But as you rightly said, we have two very large and international cities within the state of Maharashtra, Mumbai and
Right.
Pune.
Right.
So catching up with them is going to be a real big challenge. Okay. Mumbai, because it has been the prime city for probably 100 plus years, so you
Correct.
can't catch up really with Mumbai.
Right.
Pune, until about 30 years back, was about the same size, but due to various factors and circumstances, it has taken much ahead lead. And in my mind, Pune's GDP, Pune district GDP would be larger than the GDP of entire Vidarbha. Forget about Nagpur. Okay. So it's going to be a major challenge. But should we stop? Should we not do that? No. We could be the prime city in central India, if not in Maharashtra.
Right.
Okay. In central India, Nagpur could become a very major startup capital of central India, in which it could basically have, like you said, we see angels, lot of entrepreneurs and lot of support infrastructure and all that, because thanks to Mr. Gadkari and Mr. Devendra Fadnavis,
Right.
now they have created the physical infrastructure.
Right.
They are also always supporting us.
Right.
There are MSME headquarters, or government institutions are there. Intellectual property institution is there. National Institute of Intellectual Property is headquartered in Nagpur. Then we have great engineering colleges, namely
Right.
VNIT, and then others also,
Right.
like Ramdev Baba and GCC and many others
Right.
also. Now we have IIM also, where Dr. Bhimraya Metri is doing a really fantastic job. Now we have a great ecosystem in the IT sector,
Right.
and a lot of our things are driven by this. Then we have great startup entrepreneurs like Manish Sachdeva, Nitin Sachdeva of Delaplex. Then we have Shashank Garg of this. Then even Anand Deshpande is supporting a lot of things through Samir Bendre. Shashikant Chaudhary has been a homegrown phenomenal entrepreneur whose company now who's sold to Global Logic, and now that is very prime. And there are many others. The newer examples like Converge AI is there. Then Mr. Tambi's, Vishnu Tambi's organization. Then there are many such great examples. And Dr. Rizwan Ahmed of Nagpur is also working a lot in this area, along with others. I think it's the right time. And then there is Chetan Jain of Crowdera, and many other people, actually Harish Rathi. And sorry, I forgot to mention very important name, the Lemon School of Economics, or Entrepreneurship, I'm sorry, LSE, the Lemon School of Entrepreneurship. Deepak Minaria, he and his team is doing phenomenal work. So I am not here to prescribe or give this thing. Already a lot of things are happening. My only suggestion and request to all these people, that through VIA or InFed or many other such organization, all of these people should come on a common platform and do something together with the help and support of people like Shashank Rao, Faiz Wahid, uh, Amit Vaikar, Mr. Mohan Uttarwar, Dr. Ramesh Jain, and many, many others who are from Nagpuri, who love Nagpur, and now they are based across the world, in
Right.
the US, in UK, in Europe, in Australia, in Japan, China, Asia. So we can certainly do it. Who
Right.
will be the one party? And there are two groups actually: Nagpur Startup Community and Nagpur Startup Ventures, or some such name on WhatsApp. Also, they are also doing a lot of work. Thai Nagpur is supporting.
Yeah.
So it will happen. Only thing is, my request is, if all of these parties can somehow come together and make a resonance, or what's the current word is, make a I'm not getting the word right now, singularity.
Singular.
Singularity happen, or the resonance happen, then it could like boost big time. So that's my 2 cents about it.
Thank you, sir. Rightly said. And as you have already shared that, that singularity thing. So in a lot of events, like a lot of organization, as you have mentioned, Nagpur Startup, Thai Nagpur, BI, and we were even partners with the Nagpur First summits as well. So a lot of this singularity thing is happening, and I'm sure, yeah, a lot of like all the other entrepreneurs who are in the ecosystem, if they will also come forward and will work with every organization and with everyone with such initiatives, so I'm sure we can be the next startup capital of Central India. Not Maharashtra, but the Central India.
Yeah,
Thank
yeah,
you
the
so much, sir,
prime
for
prime
this.
in Central India, but somebody which will be, I mean, a city which will be known across India and across world as a
Correct.
startup capital.
Correct.
There may be larger number
Correct.
in Pune or larger number in Hyderabad, but this could take up as a in a big way. But everybody needs to come together, and maybe through Dr. Rizwan Ahmed or through other people, and we could make Nagpur First could facilitate that. I hope so.
So, sir, in case like as we have already discussed about the Nagpur, the startups in Nagpur and the way that they are performing. So, in case if any startup would like to start their business in United States, so what advice that you would like to give to them, that how they should start, if someone any exposure, any connect, or how a person should initiate or would like to, they are willing to start or expand their venture globally.
So there are already people who are doing it,
Mm-hmm.
uh, and US is a very business friendly and entrepreneur friendly country and society. Here, entrepreneurs are highly worshipped,
Right,
not just appreciated, but worshipped, because
right,
they are job creators. Unfortunately, the socialist India, which became after independence, the businessmen were considered as a chore, you know, or as the thieves of robbers. But luckily, in last 20-30 years, after Narasimha Rao government changed the thought process in the country, uh, startup, and now the new word is given to businessmen, entrepreneurs.
right.
Okay, so it's good thing are happening. If you come to United States, you can incorporate the company like in 1 or 2 days. You can get all kinds of licenses. So here there is absolutely no problem. Only thing, people should not think that just because everybody says so much about US, it's a hunky dory and it would be a cakewalk. No, there are challenges here as well, different kind of challenges. Uh, like I would say, for anybody who's starting business or who is starting entrepreneurship in India, or in Nagpur, uh, take example of people like Shashi Chaudhary, take example of other people who have done wonders from Nagpur, like Shashank Garg, like even this young man, Sahil Chawla, his T-Second Technologies, who got some money through Nagpur First uh, uh, efforts, in the sense that we got honored him, and then one Mr. Rahul Narvekar put in some money, and then later on he got some other impetus from Boeing and other people. Then he, few years back, he moved to Silicon Valley. He started. So these are the brightest star of our city, how they have done it, and how, so much so that when PM Modi came, was invited in the White House, and came, and a state dinner was given in his honor, and lots of entrepreneurs and top people were invited. Sahil was also invited there, although he is in probably in his 30s,
Right.
and he's a product of Nagpur, although he's
Right.
originally from Chandrapur. But
Mm-hmm.
it's tremendous. So a lot of people should look at it. Not that he did not have challenges. He must have had his own big challenges, but he overcame them. So whatever you do in India, in Nagpur, you got to do that. A lot of people start complaining, groaning, अरे यहाँ ऐसा नहीं होता है, अरे यहाँ ऐसा नहीं है, अरे इंडियन गवर्नमेंट ये नहीं करती, अरे नागपुर में ये नहीं. Those complainers will go nowhere.
Right.
You will have to just keep going. Here it is comparatively easier, but then only facilitation by government or by ecosystem is not necessary. But you got to have customers, you got to have competitors, you got to have suppliers, vendors, all kinds of people. So you work with them and
Mm-hmm.
keep going.
Right.
Okay, Chareveti, Chareveti, Chareveti
Correct.
is again the mantra.
Right, right. So, sir, any advice for all the aspiring entrepreneurs or aspirings who would like to start something on life science space?
So life science space is a very wider space. That sector is like, you can start in egg tech, you can start in biotech, you can start in animal health, you can start in what have you. I mean, there are many areas uh, in biotech and startup and life sciences. So pick what really is there a passion that you are passionate about. Okay, something. Okay, something. There is a one Mr. Lanjewar who is doing organic farming near Ramtek and other areas in Nagpur, and he is now exporting a lot. Then there is a family, I am forgetting their name, also in agriculture. Then there is a Supriya Thanekar, no, I'm forgetting the last name. They have started a company by name GTX, no, Next Genomics, and they are doing a phenomenal job. That family of Nagpur itself is doing a phenomenal job. There are multiple other life sciences entrepreneurs.
Hmm.
Start doing something, start creating it. There will be not just one, two, 20, there will be hundreds of challenges. Keep doing, keep overcoming those challenges, keep reaching out to people across the world. People will support. Never feel dejected, never feel this thing. Those feelings would come automatically, but overcome them. लगे रहो, लगे रहो, लगे रहो. आप सक्सेस जरूर पाओगे. ये आपका पैशन है कि आपको कहाँ, कैसा और कौन सा सेक्टर चूज करना है. Like the great Swami Vivekananda has said about 100 years ago, choose one idea that motivates and makes you go after it. Then सुबह से रात तक बस उसी आइडिया में सारा जीवन लगा दो, सारा जीवन खपा दो, आपको सक्सेस मिलेगी ही मिलेगी. लोग क्या करते हैं, 10 चीज करना चाहते हैं, 25 चीज करना चाहते हैं. एवरीबडी वांट्स टू बिकम अ लीडर, एवरीबडी वांट्स टू बिकम दिस थिंग. आप एक साइकिल रिक्शे वाले से भी वो महाल में मिलोगी, वो नागपुर के, तो वो भी बोलेगा वो प्राइम मिनिस्टर मोदी ने क्या करना चाहिए, या वो गडकरी जी ने क्या करना चाहिए, एंड ऑल दैट. इनको ज्ञान बांटने वाले, हम आप ज्ञान बांटने के पीछे लगे रहोगे और कंप्लेन करोगे ये नहीं होता है वो नहीं होता, तो कुछ नहीं मिलेगा जीवन में।
राइट।
लेकिन आप लगे रहोगे लगे रहोगे लगे रहोगे, आपको जरूर मिलेगा। तो वही है और कुछ नहीं है ज्यादा बोलने के लिए, लगे रहो, दैट्स इट।
लगे रहो. So that was a great success mantra. लगे रहो. So this brings to the end of this show. Any last success mantra that you would like to share with everyone, that everyone should follow that success mantra for becoming a successful in whatever they are doing in their life?
It's not a success mantra that I could give, because I don't like that giving gyan. So I like to practice what I preach. I would only say, if you can, if you are able to find what really motivates you and pleases you,
Right.
pick that up with full passion, and continue on that, and never give up.
Yes.
Never give up. Always be positive, always be hopeful, and just continue doing the job. That's it. It's
That's
not a mantra, it's something which I have learned in my life, and that's what I could share. Yeah.
right, sir. And being positive, if you are positive, so everything, whatever you are doing, whatever you are trying from so long, वो सब में आपको success मिलता है. That is what even I have also observed, and that's my story as well. Like अगर आप सोचते हो कि आपको करना है and with पॉजिटिव थॉट और आप हमेशा उस पे लगे रहते हैं, सो आई एम श्योर आपको वो मिलता है. आज नहीं बट कभी ना कभी वो सक्सेस डेफिनेटली मिलता है. सो विद दैट,
बिल्कुल सर.
thank you so much, Dinesh sir, for joining my first Curtain Raiser podcast, Nidhi Bawashe in Conversation with Nidhi Bawashe Varta. And thank you so much. It was really lovely and great talking to you. Thanks for sharing all the insights, all the advices. हमें क्या सोचना चाहिए, हमें किस तरीके से सोचना चाहिए, किस तरह से हमें efforts लगाते रहना चाहिए. The journey that you have shared, being a CEO, then starting your own company, then downsizing things, and then again going back, and then the global, forming a global venture and working with a different international, countries and the continent. So that was very inspiring. And thank you so much sharing each and everything and all the advices that you have shared with us. Thank you so much, sir. So
Thanks for inviting me here. It has been my pleasure. Yeah.
thank you,
Thank you.
Dinesh sir. So
Bye-bye.
thanks everyone. Do like, share, and subscribe to my channel, Nidhi Bawashe in Conversation with Nidhi Bawashe Varta. Stay tuned for all the upcoming podcasts. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All the
Thanks
best.
everyone. Take care. Thank you.